Good day, everybody, and there it was. What an event at Banc of California Stadium, LAFC, the club I work for, taking on the LA Galaxy. Very few things move the city of Los Angeles. Maybe if the Dodgers are in the World Series. Neil Diamond playing at the Hollywood Bowl. Dated reference. Perhaps the Rams host the NFC Championship. This game resonates. This was big. Maybe Taylor Swift at the Hollywood Bowl. How's that? I'm recording this before the game, so I'm on my way to the game. That's why I got my guest attire all in black because we're blacking out LA. So I don't know what the result was. But either way, you saw the video. I'm speaking in advance knowing it was a magical night, even though I haven't experienced it yet. But you saw it there. Fantastic, no? All right, I'm going to talk about the kids today on Full Time. Hello, I'm Max Bredos. I'd like to talk about the kids because I believe the children are our future. Treat them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how it used to be. Okay. Messi, Ronaldo, whoever else, it doesn't matter. I'm talking about the kids because I'm awaiting the arrival of the next generation. Who are the guys that we're going to be talking about? So I put together my top 5 players under the age of 20. Some have lists under 22, under 21. I'm going 20 because there are some guys playing some big, high-profile games that are teenagers. And we'll get to that list. And there's also a very special teenager that we'll talk about in a moment that made a huge breakthrough for maybe the biggest club in the world. All right, we're going to go. Here are my top 5. And the reason I'm also putting it today is because there's going to be a seismic change at number 1 because of what I've seen the last couple of weeks. Number 5, Vinicius Jr., 19-year-old Brazilian winger, plays at Real Madrid. He's started both games for Real Madrid that looked good in game 1, not so good in game 2. They're still kind of immersing in the new players. Eden Hazard injured. But Vinicius Jr. hanging on barely to number 5 because Real Madrid's performance, certainly this past weekend against Valladolid, was really bad. And I think with him, and he's a kid, and they are our future. I think the thing with Vinicius Jr., just looking for that confidence to kind of go at people, and I think he can beat those guys, so he stays on the list for now. And we'll pick this up down the road. At number 4, Matthias de Ligt. He did not play in the Juventus opener. And Juventus did not look all that impressive as they squeaked by a victory at Parma, so that's fine. You get a win. The old defenders are all there, and I think De Ligt will soon get his chance. The Dutch defender is 20. He came to Juventus because this is where he wanted to be. He wanted to play with Maurizio Sarri. Could have been at Barcelona. Instead, is here. So I expect to see him. It's interesting with all the clubs, all the guys that have made big name additions, most of them are still playing the players from last season. There isn't a new face, really, that you can go, there it is. Maybe Christian Pulisic. But we're still waiting on those breakthroughs. So Matthias de Ligt, the defender, and the highest-ranked defender on this list, comes in at number 4. Number 3, João Felix. I love him. I think he could be number 1 at some point. He had an assist for Atletico Madrid in their first game. He started the second game. Atletico were very typical Atletico on the road, getting a win, 1-0, one zipski. And João Felix is there, so he's playing the minute. He's getting the time, and this is a team that's going to build around him, and I think he's going to score some important goals. He's just 19. He's a solid number 3. I think 1, 2, 3, solid trio at the top. Number 2, Kylian Mbappe. That's right, Kylian Mbappe. A victim of his own success, no doubt. PSG have not been the PSG we've seen last season. They've been sputtering. They lost to Rennes in league play. And Mbappe hasn't put up huge stats. That's not why he's number 2. It's the guy at number 1 and what he's done that has pushed him in because I've just been blown away watching this guy play. But Kylian Mbappe, he's a World Cup champion, and he's the best player at 20, but all of a sudden I see promise somewhere else, and I'm ready to jump. The thing is, all these guys in Minior look ready to take the mantle. And soccer looks to be in good hands. And I didn't feel like that maybe a year ago, but it's happening right now. So Kylian Mbappe, Frenchman at PSG, big responsibility on his shoulders to see if PSG can get over the hump and at the very least make a semifinal. I think he's going to get Neymar as a teammate, and that's going to be very exciting. I think PSG needs Neymar right now. They really do. That's a good feeling for the Brazilian because as we saw in past episodes of Full Time, he kind of fell off the cliff. We do wish him well. Number one, 19-year-old Jadon Sancho, Borussia Dortmund, the English player. Sorry, my tooth. It's disgusting. Number 1. This past week against Köln, he scored a goal. Dortmund came from behind to win. They're off to a great start in the Bundesliga. He also had a play where to me, he looks like the perfect counter-attacking machine. I know we said that about Mbappe, but he covered about 70 yards on 3 dribbles and then played it into Paco Alcácer to put the game out of reach. Jadon Sancho is the goods. The real deal Holyfield, if you know what I mean. Jelly bean. He is so fluid, and he's playing such a big role for that team, and he's taking that responsibility. This could be a big year for Dortmund because Bayern don't look that great. Jadon Sancho, my number 1. I love it. The kids will get a lot of airtime on full time, if you know what I mean, because they deserve it, and they won't get it if they don't deserve it. Let's segue that to a 16-year-old, Ansu Fati, who's from Guinea-Bissau. I hope I pronounced that. It's a West African country. He's part of the Barcelona Academy, and he came into the game against Betis, a game that Barcelona were trailing, and ended up winning 5-2 with Antoine Griezmann going off. But this was a Barcelona team with Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez still mending, Ousmane Dembele now mending as well. So now all of a sudden you get 6 players, I believe, from their academy, La Masia, who played in the game at Betis. And Barcelona all of a sudden, just like this, you say the future's now. You can't really rely on these kids. 16, by the way, Ansu Fati became the youngest, forgive me if I repeat this, since 1941, the youngest player to play for Barcelona. And Messi and Suarez in the crowd looking with delight, saying, this is incredible. And there's still more kids that are coming through. So Barcelona, we get locked in on Messi. This is an incredible development to see that these guys are ready to play in a big spot. Did I say at Betis they played at home at the Camp Nou, so it's a little less pressure there. But Ansu Fati is a name that may be getting on that list. He's others receiving votes, as they say in the United States, but not on the top 5. And Barcelona get a very important win there because they were trailing Nabil Fekir. Betis is going to be a top 6-7 team in Spain. They get the victory, they come back, and they score 5. And now they have another game in the international break, and now you feel like you can bring back Messi real slow. And you know what? This may pay off for Barcelona because take the workload off Messi. He has to deliver at the end of the season. They got to get through and win the Champions League. And maybe things will fall into place with this group when they are fully healthy. And you know me, I don't give Barcelona any benefit of the doubt. I don't give them any freebies. But this is a good thing, and I am going to applaud the club when they do the right thing. And lay off Ernesto Valverde. A couple weeks ago, I had my Premier League preview here on Full Time, and I gave, I said, yes, I said it. I'm wrong with my predictions sometime. I might not be wrong on this. That the pursuers are going to catch up to the top 2 teams in England. And those top 2 teams being Manchester City and Liverpool. But instead, it looks like the gap's even growing. Those 2 teams even look more impressive. The 4 teams that you could say that would be chasing them have all look flawed. Tottenham Hotspur, the latest, losing at home. And I don't think those big stadiums, the home field advantage is not there like it used to be at their old place. So I think West Ham's another one will say that, as White Hart Lane was a cauldron. But this is going to take a while for their new stadium to really settle in. But Tottenham Hotspur, Arsenal looked flawed over the weekend. They were thumped by Liverpool. Manchester United are a hot mess. Guys make so many mistakes. It's really appalling. I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to be on that sideline much longer. And who am I forgetting? Chelsea. Chelsea are a work in progress. I think we can all agree with that. So they weren't really going to threaten that top 2. Instead, Manchester City should be perfect if not for an awful decision from VAR last week. And they should be 3 wins out of 3. Liverpool are perfect and look even better. It's a system that no one can compete against. Everyone's so messy. And like I said with Manchester United, they don't take their chances. They flub them. And you have a guy like Mo Salah. You give him a chance, he's going to score. So England, it's a wait and see. But Liverpool and Manchester City, they clearly the champion is going to be determined by those 2. And I think both are going to make long runs in the Champions League as well. So all is well. Nothing's changed. Although elsewhere, leagues are getting a lot tighter. You can bank on it. Subscribe to my YouTube account at Max Bredos. I appreciate it. And we'll get out there and we'll get some cool footage. LAFC, baby. I'll talk to you soon.